Now we are about to come to the end, and my next speaker is going to be His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, but just allow me to say this before he comes. Senator Wambua was right. I've been in many meetings where people were discussing about who is going to be the candidate. And three times, Kalonzo has said, nakuachia wewe ndugu yangu Raila. In 2013, in 2017, and in 2022, where he said, I don't even need a position. If there's a principled man in Kenya, like Raila Odinga, is Kalonzo Musyoka. I also want to say this again about Kalonzo Musyoka. This guy has been a vice president.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to remind you, when I said that the 2 days that the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta spent in Bondo after the death of Right Honorable Raila Odinga were the determinant of William Ruto actually losing the Luo Nyanza region and more so the Odinga family support in the year 2027 general election. As of today, Right Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka was in Bondo to pay his last respect to his long-time political brother Raila Odinga. And the speeches that were today given by leaders affiliated with ODM party, including the family of Raila Odinga, that is Mama Ida Odinga and Raila Jr., actually speaks in volumes on what steps they are going to take in the 2027 general election. Putting aside the statement given by Ida and his son Raila Jr., allow me to speak about James Orengo's speech. The speech delivered by James Orengo today drew a line between President William Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka. James Orengo reminded the people of Luo Nyanza that in 3 instances Kalonzo Musyoka has put aside his ambitions for the presidency to support and actually subscribe to the ideology of Raila Odinga's presidency. And for all those times, Kalonzo has been loyal to Raila Odinga. 2 times, Kalonzo acted as Raila Odinga's running mate. In the year 2013 and in the year 2017, he and Raila Odinga walked the same political path without ever thinking of him betraying Raila to go and run for his own benefit, or for him to actually leave Raila Odinga and join the other function which was in government. We saw Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, who alongside Raila Odinga sought the presidency in the year 2013 and in the year 2017. When it came to the year 2022, they left Raila Odinga and joined hands with William Ruto under the Kenya Kwanza coalition agreement. And that is something that actually Kalonzo Musyoka would have also done. But even if he was not picked for the presidency or for the running mate of Raila Odinga in 2022, Kalonzo decided to support Raila even though he was not on the ticket. Now, what is James Orengo trying to push out there? Allow me to remind you that even before the death of Raila Odinga, James Orengo had been so vocal against William Ruto's regime and even against the broad-based agreement signed between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. And by de facto, the people of Luo Nyanza knows, and they have always known, that the person who actually would have taken over after Raila's death and who would have given the people of Luo Nyanza the direction is none other than James Orengo. And that is why, by de facto or by default, James Orengo takes the mantle as the person who speaks for the Luo Nyanza, as the spokesperson of the Luo Nyanza people. And that is why today he made it very clear in endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidential ticket come the year 2027. Now, looking at the event today, Oburu Odinga was not there. But one thing that you currently don't know is that Oburu Odinga's greatest advisors on matters of how to run ODM party is James Orengo, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, and Edwin Sifuna. And that actually tells you where Oburu Odinga will be in the year 2027 and who the ODM party will support in the year 2027 general election. Kalonzo Musyoka's ticket is sealed. Even within the united opposition, there is nobody as magnanimous as Kalonzo Musyoka. There is nobody that has a chance at this presidency like Kalonzo Musyoka. With the endorsement of James Orengo and with facts being laid out to the people of Luo Nyanza, the person they should be loyal to, the person that they should give a chance in the year 2027 is not William Ruto but Kalonzo Musyoka. Because for the 3 times that Kalonzo Musyoka has served and supported Raila Amolo Odinga, the supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga have never given back to Kalonzo Musyoka the loyalty that he served to Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why James Orengo said, the man who is not compromised and the man that by de facto deserves to be the presidential candidate against William Ruto to take William Ruto out of power in 2027 is Kalonzo Musyoka. James Orengo, even before Raila Amolo Odinga came to become the enigma of politics, there was a battle of the kingpinship of the Luo nation. The two, James Orengo and Raila Amolo Odinga, went against each other. But at the end of the day, they decided to come together, where James Orengo decided to back his brother Raila Amolo Odinga. And that actually happened after the 2002 election. Now, what does this tell you? Raila is no more. The kingpin of the Luo Nyanza is no more. On matters experience, on matters speaking what is right, James Orengo has a voice at the table. He should be speaking for the people of Luo Nyanza. And that is why, in his own way, directed the people of Luo Nyanza today that the person you should be backing, the person that you should be supporting is Kalonzo Musyoka, not William Ruto. Now, William Ruto is torn in between because he knows the Odinga family is behind Kalonzo Musyoka and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is behind Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why you have seen a smear campaign of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's name several times lately, because they know where Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta alliance lies. It lies with Kalonzo Musyoka and Fred Matiang'i and the united opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look careful also, you will realize that those that have been the sympathizers of broad-based government, elements of William Ruto in ODM, like Gladys Wanga, were nowhere to be seen today when Kalonzo Musyoka paid the said visit to Bondo to visit the grave of Raila Amolo Odinga. This is actually an indication that a clear line has been drawn. ODM is divided into two, but the biggest function is that is to support, is the one that is to support Kalonzo Musyoka come the year 2027, and that one you should take it to the bank and cash it. Gladys Wanga, John Badi, and some few other elements, akina Junet Mohamed, Joho, Oparanya, will try in a way to be declared the party owners. As we speak, we have intel of a meeting that is scheduled to take place in Mombasa, the 20th anniversary of the ODM party, where ODM party is set, the NEC, the NEC board of ODM party is to actually vote again on who should become the party leader. They want to oust Oburu Odinga because William Ruto has realized Oburu Odinga's alliance is currently divided and Oburu Odinga is not going to support him in 2027. And that is why Gladys Wanga and some few other elements want to topple the leadership of Oburu Odinga. Oburu's advisors are Sifuna, Orengo, Anyang' Nyong'o, Ruto Odinga, and these are people that have clearly stated in the past that ODM should remain an independent party that should actually even be having a presidential candidate in the year 2027. I remind you that people like Sifuna in the past, people like Babu Owino in the past have endorsed Kalonzo Musyoka's presidency. Now, confirming this is James Orengo, that Kalonzo deserves it. So William Ruto is working every different angle to make sure that ODM is divided. Remember, William Ruto's lifeline to the presidency in the year 2027 was not the lifeline of William Ruto was none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. But now Raila is gone. So it's upon time the ODM decides where they are going to cast their votes in the year 2027. By de facto, even the people of Luo Nyanza, who are the voters, they love Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua never showed up, because Rigathi Gachagua and Raila Amolo Odinga shared nothing. They have never in any way been in the same in the same coalition. So now, William Ruto, it's upon time you think otherwise, because the Luo Nyanza people are going to vote Kalonzo Musyoka. And we echo the ones of James Orengo, that Kalonzo Musyoka is the best candidate to take on William Ruto come the year 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the dynamics, the coastal region has Kalonzo, the Ukambani region has Kalonzo, the Mount Kenya region is voting for Kalonzo, the Mulembe nation, Drew Natembeya and Eugene Wamalwa, they are behind Kalonzo. Tell us how William Ruto is going to beat this man. For now, that's what's up. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section on what you think about this analysis.